think we should be live. Hold on, let me just check here. Yep, there we are. Bit of a nice, better thumbnail today. Got both of us in the thumbnail.
Nice.
Alright, we are in. Sorry about that minor delay, gentlemen, and everyone watching today's video. Happy New Year, and hope everyone had a lovely Christmas, as well as New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. I'm back again for the second episode that we're doing with my boy Zar here, and he's going to be predominantly taking you through some technical analysis on Bitcoin today. If I do say so myself, I have been following the charts for the last couple of weeks, and BTC is looking pretty exciting at the moment. We're kind of in a bit of an interesting area, pushing sort of maybe the 90k zone. Zar's currently got it there at 89,136. So yeah, just a quick intro about these streams. So we're looking to do, going into the new year, into 2026 fresh, we're looking to get at least 2 weekly episodes with myself and Zar like this out, whereby we go in, do some TA on the market, and Zar is going to basically take you, even if you are at absolute beginner to beginner level, you are going to be able to understand what Zar is taking you through here. He's going to be showing you what to look out for, what to not waste time on, and yeah, just how to get a basic understanding and reading of the market. Because the fact of the matter is that if you're someone that's just holding your Crow, altcoin, or Bitcoin spot bags, you're just not making the most out of this market. If you can gradually, through the process of your entire existence, learn how to trade and become better at trading with a focused strategy and routine and discipline, you're simply going to make more money from this market. For example, Zara and myself, we had a pretty good December, okay? I'll have to check with Zara what percentage he was up, probably more than me, but I myself had a solid 45% up on my portfolio. Okay, and I know that a lot of spot bag holders probably didn't make anything because, from a spot bag holder's perspective, it was just a lot of consolidation chop, maybe from sort of around 85k to 90k, all between there. And a lot of people aren't looking to kind of cash out to 125k. So it's times like this, though, where it doesn't matter for us as leverage traders, especially because we can make money whenever there is volatility in the market. If there's volatility in the market, whether it's to the upside or the downside, we can make money in this market. So yeah, we're here to talk to you about all of that. And guys, if you do want to follow on with any of the trades that we do on the channel, there will be a Bitunix link in the pinned chat there. Okay, so go ahead, get signed up with the link, guys, and then what you need to do is make your first deposit, start trading, and you can go into the weekly draw to win 1,000 Crow and into the monthly draw to win 5,000 Crow. Bitunix, guys, it's hands down the best exchange for Americans, specifically no VPN, no KYC, and it's the exchange that me and Zar used to trade on, folks. So if you do want to come and get involved after doing your own research, not financial advice, of course, then get involved, get signed up for Bitunix. Oh, and if you're a high volume trader as well, we are giving away 5,000 Crow every month, which is currently around 500 US dollars. If Crow hits $1, it's going to be 5,000 US dollars every month to one of the top 5 highest volume traders at the end of the month. So without further ado, I am going to just bring my some reason I can't see my head on the screen, but look, it doesn't really matter too much if I can't. But I'm going to let Zarino take it away. All right, take it away, brother. Thanks for joining us again.
Thank you for having me. So, Happy New Year, first of all. Let's hope it's been a successful start to the year for all you guys. So today, basically, I just wanted to run through the BTC charts. Again, on the smaller time frames. Reason being is because we're looking to make a few little scalp trades if we can. But more than anything, I wanted you guys to actually understand a little bit more and try to be confident enough in building your own trades. Not always necessarily coming on and following someone else's trades, but actually have a decent idea of why you're doing this trade, what direction it's going to go in, what you want to achieve, and take it from there. So like I always do, Let me get the charts here. Let me get a bit of an idea of what's going on. So I'm going to start off with simply the 5-minute chart. So Bitcoin currently right now in this very moment does seem like it's taking a very nice dump to the downside, but we missed that short. So in general, it does look like we are on a bit of an uptrend from, yeah, for at least the last 24 hours. We've been forming a little bit of an uptrend, and I'm going to start off by getting this volume indicator on. So this volume indicator, let me get rid of these lines. This volume indicator actually gives me the daily point of control, which I find quite important. Even if I'm not going to use it directly in a trade immediately, it gives me a very good reference to where I am on that day. So this is the point of control for the past 24 hours, the daily point of control. And this is the point of control, this white line here, where we are at today. So I'm going to keep yesterday's point of control here. I'm going to mark it with this orange line, and I'm going to do the same with the current point of control today. And so these two lines just give me a bit of a gauge, just give me a bit of an understanding of where I'm at, where the market was at yesterday, where we were fighting yesterday, with the most volume, and where we've been fighting today, basically. And we are really, really, really dumping hard right now. What is going on? All of this hard work just eaten up by a few huge candles. And I'll tell you why. Probably because the time currently now is 14:19 UK time, which means the New York market, I believe, opens up in around 10 minutes. So in all fairness, that's where we want to be, because that's where the most volatility is. And it's kind of dangerous to be in a trade during the opening. So we'll see. We'll see our risk management, see if it's worthwhile or not. However, let's find out what's going on today. So sorry, I'm just going to bring this back up. So from midnight, that's UK time, we can see the point of control was up here at around 89,470, and that's where the most action has been going on today, or let's say that's where the battle has been going on with the most volume. And what else can I tell you? So I've got my point of control on. I'm now going to get my averages, so we can see with the green line being on top and the red being at the bottom, like I was telling you guys last time. These are more of my longer term EMAs for slightly longer term plays and trades. However, it still does give me a rough idea of where I'm at on the day, and if I haven't got any idea where I'm at on any chart, this will give me an immediate sort of inclination of where we're heading and where we're coming from. So, like I said, the green line being on top, the red being at the bottom, that's the most bullish scenario, which means basically we're heading upwards. And I'll show you my settings. So I've got the 20 on the green, the 50 in the yellow, the 100 in the orange, and the 200 in the red. That's the sort of the settings I like to have for the colors that I usually remember. And so when they're all in this formation in order, let's say, so we're kind of dipping, the green is kind of dipping below the yellow now, which is the first sign of a sort of bearish reversal. But in general, when we're in this formation, things are strong, things are looking good. We get a few bounces off these EMAs and generally head towards the upside. So that's the general consensus. We were going up until we hit this very rude barrier here. We'll try to figure out what's going on. However, I do prefer to use slightly shorter moving averages for these kind of time frames, anything from the 5 minutes to the 1 minute, just because they give me a little bit more immediate feedback of what's going on as opposed to the slightly longer time frame. So we're going to keep this one here. And we are going to try and identify what's going on. So going to get these averages here, these indicators here, sorry. So I've got the RSI, the stochastic RSI, and the MACD. These, again, I prefer to use them on slightly longer time frames when I'm doing daily trading. However, they still can be a very, very, very strong indicator of what's potentially about to happen. So, I mean, quite simply, to be honest with you, you can simply trade using the stochastic RSI and simply trading overbought and oversold. So let me see if I can give you an example. So we'll actually take this down even to the 1 minute chart. And we're just going to try and show you if we had caught a move using the stochastic RSI and the RSI. So let's say we wanted to jump into a trade here. We can see the stochastic RSI has pretty much reset to a very low value. And when we do get a cross up, so let me see if I can zoom in here slightly. So what I mean by a cross up is the blue line overtaking the red line and crossing up above this white line here. So this white line here is simply the 20. Anything under here, it's basically a very good opportunity to buy. And anything above this line here, which I have at the 80 and should be the standard settings, I just have changed the lines to bolder white lines. Anything over here basically means overbought. So there is a very good chance that the market is about to reverse, even if it's for a very short time, to the downside. So when we're looking at this, we want to catch a big move, basically, all the way from the lows, all the way to the top. How would this have played out? This move right here, as you can see, we were here. So we're looking at this right here. We want to catch a move to the upside. We haven't really looked at the charts. We're just seeing that we could be entering the market here. And once we're above, we decided to hold above. And here we had a cross down, which indicates, I believe this would probably be this red candle here. And so automatically, if you had just jumped into this trade completely blind with no knowledge, but you had seen that the market was at this low point, you could have easily jumped in with a long, and you would have, let's say, from here, and then you got a signal straight away immediately here. We were in, this would have been, what is this, 9 bars on a 1 minute, so under 10 minutes. This would have been a 10-minute trade, and you would have got yourself, I mean, even if you sold it right at the lows, 0.29% of a move, which is incredible for such a simple move, without much thought to it. And so I don't like to just jump into trades completely blindly like that, but that is a very good indication of a potential trade setup. So that's one thing. So this is the stochastic RSI. Let's see if we can find another example.
And how come you're using the RSI and the stochastic RSI? What are the main differences between those
So
two?
with the RSI, it's not as accurate on the lower time frames. So I do have it up because I do have it I do use it on my longer time frames. I haven't really created too much of a setup for a shorter time frame. This is simply because I'm still in the learning process, and I want to compare how I would be trading my longer term trades, compared to see how if I use exactly the same tactics, what I can achieve on the shorter time frame. And I've been advised against it. I've been advised against it. I've been told it's not the same way that you trade a long-term trade compared to a short-term trade. However, I need to live it myself. I wanna see why I'm being given this advice. I want to see. I literally need to live the moment myself, and so this is the best knowledge I currently have on my trading setup to give myself to give myself the best idea of what direction I want to push my trade, if it's going to be a long or a short, how strong it's going to be. And so yeah, so these are the tactics I use. I'm going to delve into it a little bit more now using this specific chart. So again, the reason why I'm doing this on BTC is because the candles are a lot fuller. There's a lot more volume. There's a lot more action going on as opposed to Crow. And this is literally just me learning. One day I wanna challenge myself and hit all the charts in the market. But during the learning phase, this is probably my best bet in actually learning what's going on, because I could have the best setup in the world, and Crow can literally wipe me out in seconds with a completely random buy or sell, which has nothing to do with what the charts have just told me,
Mm,
and that really doesn't teach me too much. So I'm going to
sure.
use these BTC charts as the most powerful charts as my learning curve, and I just basically want to come up with my own strategy and what I think is the best plan for this small scalping session, because I do have my longer term plan for longer trades, and if it isn't broke, don't fix it. I've got no issues with how things are going there. And these are trades that I'm talking are daily trades, which lasts up to, some could last a few days, some could last a few weeks, some could last a few months. So
Of course. And
it's a completely different ball game.
what do you see as
Yeah,
the
yeah,
sort of the primary benefits of this? We call it scalp trading, right? So basically just trading on these lower time frames a bit more regularly, right? I
yeah,
mean, I think with swing trading and scalp trading, you've got your pros and your cons,
absolutely.
but for you, what is it about scalp trading that you really enjoy? Because I know that you've done pretty well off some scalp trading in the last few months from our
Yeah,
private
absolutely.
discussions and stuff.
So, I mean, for me, it's the fun of not having to suffer when the charts are going down, and I've got my spot bags suffering,
Mm, yes,
basically, and as you well know, that suffering can go on for a very, very prolonged time, including years. So I
100%.
don't want to just sit there every day logging into the charts, seeing what's going on, getting excited because we have a few days up,
Yeah,
and then just literally wiped out completely by this big red candle. I wanted to get into it.
yeah,
And basically have some fun and see if there's anything I can do on a daily basis,
yeah,
um, to make some money. Basically, at the end of the day, it's about making money. I do enjoy this, but I need to make a living. And so I thought to myself, I initially had a plan of, let me start with $1,000. Let me see what can I do with $1,000. What's realistic with $1,000? Um, and that's how I started my main account. And that was again for the longer trades. And then I transferred just a few hundred, I believe, to my Bitunix account. I made the most of the sign up referral bonus, and I used that sign up referral bonus to take my account to roughly around $350,
nice.
which meant a lot to me. However, again, like I said, this is more of my play account. I do use another account as my main account, um, when placing more serious trades. And
Yep.
this money I've dedicated to myself as an understanding. So I want to use this money to understand. I don't care if this gets to $1,000. I don't care if this goes to zero. I need to understand every single thing that I do. And we need to take that we need to take that knowledge and use that knowledge to better ourselves as a daily scalping trader, basically. And so again, going back to your point, it's not very nice looking at the charts every day when we're in a bit of a downtrend. But if you're a trader, on the other hand, if you can put your emotions aside, look at the facts in the charts, and bet without using your heart, basically you can make a nice daily living. I mean, I'm not here trying to make thousands and thousands and thousands. I actually set myself a target of what can I actually achieve with this. um, and I'm using this $350 account, and as I said, I don't mind. I've been mucking about with this. I've been making 100x leverage trades and losing everything in seconds, and I've been gaining back slowly, 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 and I've been wanting to almost lose so I can understand
Mm,
exactly what I'm never going to jump into ever again,
yeah, yeah.
in terms of trading, and because I actually got on a very good run where with this account where I was down to $80. Had a very few good trades, got it all the way back up to 300-400, and then with
Nice.
one simple 100x leverage trade, I lost over 100 in a matter of seconds. That was
Hmm.
actually on the pro charts.
Wow.
And looking back at that trade, I didn't really learn much because everything was heading in the right direction.
Right, right.
Everything was going to plan, and I just got excited. Basically, I just ran in too deep before I actually knew what was going on, and the pro charts kicked my ass basically. And
Ah,
I learned my lesson, and I'm happy about that because I now know not to mess with that going forwards in the future.
yes,
But
yes.
let's go back to these charts. So yeah, so basically, I wanted to say that I'm trying to achieve around $50 a day,
Hmm.
um, with this scalp trading to see if that's possible. As soon as I've hit my target, I have absolutely no interest in going back in the market and trading again.
Yeah,
I am, however, interested in keeping an eye on what's going on because if the right trade does come up, I am potentially going to jump in.
yeah,
But it is really important that you set yourself a target. I mean, that could be $10 a day to $50 a day to $5 a day to whatever you're comfortable with. But if you set yourself a target, which I have and I've been achieving, I mean, I'm actually over the moon because I wasn't making this kind of money a few months ago with my longer term trades because
yeah.
these things can take a really, really, really long time to play out. Like I'm talking years.
They can take years, and
So
the thing is, as you've shown these
yeah,
guys, this is just your kind of like testing account to really learn from. You mentioned that this is your balance for really learning, and but even with a balance like this, it's not unrealistic trading a bit of leverage in a sensible manner that from 300 you can easily make $50 or more a day, which I think for a lot of people who are watching this stream right now, I'm pretty sure you'd be pretty chuffed, you'd be pretty stoked to be making $50 a day with just a mere $300, which okay, yeah, it's not no money, it's a bit of money, but $300, it's pretty achievable for a lot of people who are able to invest in crypto, right? I think so. I think it's a misconception. You don't. I just want to make that clear for anyone who's watching this. You don't need tens of thousands, or even thousands, or even $1,000 to even get into this. You don't even need 300. You can get in and start having a go at leverage trading and trying to apply some of this knowledge if you're comfortable with what we're given with as little as 10, 20, $30. Don't go out to the club this weekend. Don't go out to the pub. Save yourself on some health and come and have a crack at the charts and educate yourself and start on this journey because there's no point in just holding these spot bags. Out of my since I've been in crypto since 2017, almost 10 years in crypto now. I think the only one singular biggest regret I have is really just not learning how to leverage trade from the beginning. That's all. That's the only regret I have. And now that we're kind of here and I've been doing it for a bit, it's like, Jesus, how are we not? I don't know another metaphor to explain it, but it just seems to me, I don't know about you, Zab, but it just seems absolutely mad that we weren't doing this sooner because it just seems like
you know
wasted
what?
opportunities, but it happens at the
I
right
was
time,
always
but
when I was during my trading school, basically,
yes. Because
and
you
my
went to school,
classes.
didn't you? Yeah. You
The
are.
first thing they taught me,
Hmm.
the first thing they taught me was do not place a single trade for the first 2 years that you're actually learning,
First two
because
years, I see.
that's how serious they were about how wrong this can go if you just jump into it.
Of course, of course,
Um,
of course.
head first. And you know that I actually did not listen to that at all, as you do. So I was like, you know what, I've got I've got a bit of skill here and there. Let me go and try some things out. Let me try and jump in a few trades with other few YouTubers, and that's when I started to get really pissed off because I was like, okay, I might not have the knowledge, but these guys online are claiming to have the knowledge, and the things they were saying were making so much sense. And I was jumping into trades with them, and literally looked like gold. However, they turned out to be losing trades, and I got put off the game for a very, very long time. And I'm talking
Mm,
about 3.5 years ago now. So I
yeah.
actually left it for those 2 years, and I started studying it really hard, and I was looking at the charts every day, and it was actually angering me that I wasn't entering these plays because they
Mm,
looked like they looked solid as gold. And however, I stuck to my guns, I literally suffered basically. It's a suffering having to look at these charts going up and going down and not being able to do nothing about it
It is.
because I was still scared. I was like, even though I'm in this class and I'm in this I'm doing this course, the first thing they said and the thing they bang on about all the time is don't take a trade within the first 2 years when you're learning about trading. Uh, and so yeah, so again, I was put off by this and as soon as I tried it, following other people, I got completely destroyed. As soon as I started doing it using my own knowledge and everything I'd actually been taught and learned, I thought, you know what? Even with just after one class, if I'm
Mm.
just using that one rule, if I stick to it extremely strictly, I can start trading straight away. Like there's
Yep.
there's there's no problems. It's just as simple as I showed you 5 minutes ago. What if
Yes.
you are just trading using, a little bit of knowledge, but not much, and you got this one indicator on stochastic RSI, and you're thinking the market is oversold,
Yes.
or the market is overbought. You want to buy here. Look, right now we were all the way pretty much oversold here, and so we wanted to come back up. And we shot straight through here with just this one candle, and there's no knowledge of anything here. You just see two indicators pointing their heads up. You think, okay, I'm going to go in with a trade, and you would have actually been up here. It is that simple if you break it down to that sort of micro dynamic. But that's not a good trader. A good trader is not going to jump in blindly um, with just that knowledge. So the idea here is to build a storyline, to build a good feeling with the charts that are in front of you. Um, and so when you're jumping into your trade, you're actually fully confident. So how do you do that? You look for basically anything that so things that I've learned in the past. You can either look at your indicators, you can get confidence from other charts, other time frames. The EMAs and the moving averages are extremely important. As you've seen before in the past, they act as extremely good support and resistance. And even when they blow straight past the indicators, they don't like to stay too far away from them. So um, it's always a good learning sign that even if you have blasted through the indicators and everything is looking positive,
Mm.
the one thing to know is that they do love to come back. So don't get too excited and think you're just going to get green after green after green after green. Um, it's a sensible market, shall we say?
Yep.
So if someone's buying, and someone's already bought a long time ago and they're in a good position, they might want to sell. So so looking more into this, I want to get you guys to understand why you want to enter a trade. Why do I enter a trade? Because I've got a good feeling about that, maybe that exact candle. My idea is playing out before my eyes. I might want to jump in earlier than I would um on this account, just because again it's a little bit more of a gamble for me. But I want to learn if it's actually a gamble or if it's something I want to take forward with me in the future and actually use as a proper strategy. Everything is a bit of a gamble right now, as I said, because we're in the learning phase. So don't necessarily jump in to a specific trade with me. Learn from my trade and understand exactly what I'm doing to get the confidence to jump into your own trade and see you and be like, you know what, I think I agree with him, or I don't agree with him. I think I'm gonna wait a little bit longer, or you know what, I think he's waiting way too long, and I want to jump in a little bit earlier.
Mm.
You have to start to build your own confidence with your own ideas. So let me just jump through this chart real quick. I drew this quick box here before you were when you're explaining, and so I
Nice.
want to explain my little box. And so my little box is a little supply zone. So that basically means in this chart pattern, we came down to this point, and I would like to think to myself that as soon as we hit this area, we literally blasted through with green candles. They weren't
Yeah.
the most bullish of green candles, but we did have a few uptrends. We did beat the previous high, so it is a positive and valid zone. And so what happens from there is we like to run away with it, but then we do like to come back, especially with these big industrial candles. So like I was saying, the little guy likes to push up, push up, push up. That's the little retail guys. That's me and you. That's every man and his dog just playing away, playing their game, and then coming to a bit of a standstill, and then just getting bullied by these big industrial
Yeah,
candles, which we can't do nothing about. So all of this work right here from literally 2 a.m. wiped out in a matter of 15, 20 minutes, which
that's
is
crazy.
insane. But just as quickly as it's being wiped out, look at this. It's being eaten up
Yeah,
straight away,
yep.
and we're straight back in. So yeah, so again, my idea here is that because we were eaten up so quickly, why am I so confident that we might come back down to this level and use that as a reversal to push back up? Simply because there were large I'd like to say large industrial traders here with huge bags of coins that they're willing to trade, and they're pushing the price up. They're setting their limit orders, and unfortunately, they're not filling them all straight away. So as we go further up, they've still got limit orders set in this area right here. So as we're pushing up, and we're coming back down, as soon as we touch this area, as you can see, these candles are literally a complete rejection. And that's simply because all the limit orders that were not filled up immediately here are now being filled up right here.
That's very interesting.
And so we get a push straight back up. And as we can see, these are not baby candles.
No,
This whole move came down and it was eaten up within 10 minutes on
100%.
this 5 minute time frame. Not even 10 minutes yet.
Damn.
And so yeah, that gives me a rough idea. So that initially could have been an interesting play for a long. I
Yep.
wasn't concentrating too much to actually be in that play, but yeah. So that is initially my first strategy. I'm gonna just plot the chart with the what I believe are going to be supply and demand zones,
Yes.
depending on where the move is going. Because like I said, it's all about bounces. It's all about coming back, going up and down. So everything usually gets re-eaten, and I'll explain what I mean right here. So I mean, we're going up, we're coming back down. We're going up, we're coming back down. We're going up, we're coming back down. It's all bounces. It's all bounces. It's all bounces. Nothing is clean. So even here, this for me is just one big move.
Yep.
Forget the noise. It's just one big move down here. And so from here, what usually likes to happen is it usually likes to go straight up and take out the previous high.
Mm-hmm.
If not the previous high, at least the previous resistance.
Yep.
So I'm just going to try and get a little bit of confidence now just to build my idea, because right now I don't know if I want to go short. I don't know if I want to go long. The market is extremely volatile. We've just opened up the American markets in New York, and so anything's possible. I'm gonna try and get in the best mind frame to see where people are at.
Yeah, 100%.
So starting on the 5 minute time frame, I've set my intention basically with saying this is going to be my first initial resistance zone, which it came down, it hit perfectly, and now bounced back up. Now, you guys remember this orange line here? That was today's point of control.
Mm.
And so, as we can see, it came straight back up, tapped the point of control, and now it's getting rudely rejected back to the downside. So, the point of control does like to play a very pivotal role in the daily trades, basically. It does like to use it as support and resistance quite a bit during the day. So 5 minutes, 3 minutes. So let's get an idea. On the 5 minute chart, we can see the RSI is going up, which
Mm-hmm.
means potentially there is still hope to the upside. I like to try and find nice long big moves, which go all the way to the bottom, and then sort of consolidate at the top, and then turn around back to the downside. so right now you can see that the charts are moving back down, so we might not even make it to a complete to get over the 80 line here and to get a complete move to the upside. As you can see, we're getting an early indication of that because the RSI here has actually nodded its head down. But this is live, so I want you to realize that this is live, and this is the
Mm.
5 minute chart, so this will not close for another 2 minutes 42 seconds. If this candle turns green, you can completely forget about this because this will turn its head straight back to the upside.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's not the greatest indicator on the shorter time frames.
Yep.
However, I like to have it there because in times of need, you can see, for example, here. So I like to have the top bar. I've got it placed as, what is it, 70 here? 70. So anything above the 70 for me is extremely overbought. And as you
Mm,
can see here, we had
big dump.
we had our big top, and from that top, if I had gone in here and said, you know what, I'm a bit scared here, we haven't been in this oversold here for since 5:30 yesterday evening. So it's not somewhere we travel to very often. So
Hmm.
once we do get here, would this be a good opportunity to go short? If I want to use confluence, I'm looking at the other charts and say, wow, we are actually very overbought on the stochastic RSI too. And then I'm looking at the MACD, and I'm looking at the MACD. I'm saying, wow, the MACD is actually very oversold as well, and there's a
Hmm.
potential cross coming up very soon. So these three things would immediately make me think, okay, short, but when? Even if you went in immediately and you rode this all the way down, you would have come and you would have clipped this zone here just based on the knowledge that you had gone in through here. So that's how I roughly use my indicators, just to give me a bit of confidence when I'm making a move. And I've started to notice that they actually do work relatively well, even on the 1 minute time frame. So I've been mucking about a lot. I've been doing scalp trading with literally still using the 1 minute chart, but in and out within a few candles.
Hmm.
Just to make those 5, 10, $20 moves on higher leverage trading,
Yep.
which again is very risky, but I've been just trying to play about with the situation and figure out what's best for me, basically.
And you can, just a
So
quick one as well, Zar. So, and
yeah,
correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe even on TradingView, the free version, you can use all these indicators as well. The amount you've got on there, or do you
so I
need?
believe
How many can
I
you get on
use
there?
I actually got a paid one.
Oh, you got the paid one,
I
yeah,
pay,
yeah,
I've got the paid one, but again, the very basic package.
yep,
So
yep,
nothing special. It allows
yeah.
me to
Same.
use 5 indicators simultaneously. I
Yep,
believe the
that's it.
completely free paid version, I used it for the first couple of years, and to be
Mhm.
honest, there wasn't too much difference.
Yeah, yeah,
It gave
yeah,
me
yeah.
three paid indicators. Sorry,
Yep.
three. It allowed me to use 3 indicators simultaneously, which to be honest is more than enough
Yeah, 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 yeah,
for
yeah.
most of you guys starting out. And
Yep.
uh, and yeah, so I've actually ideally I would like to have more, but sometimes more can just be very, very, very confusing.
Sure, sure, sure.
So don't overstress yourself with indicators. Like I said, I've got all this mess right now, but when I'm trading, most of the time it's quite a relatively clean chart. I've only got either the EMAs on um, in either the shorter time frame or the longer time frame,
Yep, yep, yep.
and that's pretty much all we need. This is just something I use to give me quick confluence. And so now, all right, now we're making a move to the upside.
Something's
We
happening.
actually did we actually did what I predicted in terms of
Goes to take out
on this
the
5 minute
last
move.
highest point, isn't it? That's what you were
So yeah,
saying.
so we literally
Fucking blitzed it.
came back here, we tapped this area. The reason I would have jumped into a trade here is basically because of
Cause
these candles here.
yeah,
They're very positive candles, even though they finish red. It did show a lot of push,
yeah.
a lot of sell pressure. Sorry, a lot of buy pressure coming in
Boy, that
here,
would have been
so
a sick
pushing the
trade.
candle straight back to the upside. It would have been an amazing trade,
Whee.
and simply that's basically all you have to wait for. Uh,
Mm-mm.
at times is the right trade at the right time. So we're actually going to try and trade this the other way potentially now, because this move
It's pretty over.
I'm
Yeah,
thinking
it's getting hot.
is going to be overbought at some point.
Yes.
And so let me try and get some confluence on that idea. So using these indicators I have here at the bottom, as you can see, we flew all the way from a low. So again, using that idea, if we were right here, you would have bought in just using simple tactics. The RSI and the stochastic RSI reset at extremely uh, low levels. The ideal technique is to wait for the stochastic RSI to go above the 20 with a positive cross, which means the blue line over the red line. Once that has happened over the 20, that's sort of a confirmation that the move is taking place. So if you're not 100% confident on jumping in on a move blind right at the bottom, you could wait slightly longer. However, on these slightly shorter time frames, you'd like to think you're building up such a good idea in your head that you want to go for it and you want to fully back yourself. So I like to catch these, usually below the confirmation zone. However, just looking at this, we would have had a beautiful move to the upside. And now this, I love this kind of candle because again, look how much sell pressure we had when we reached this top here.
Yeah,
So
that's
now
wild.
I'm gonna quickly just see where this top lines up with, if it does line up with anything in the near future, in the near past. So yes, so we are coming back to retest this sort of top here on this previous zone. So I'm so we're getting a really big rejection here, as you can see.
Yep, yep, yep.
Would we like to jump onto this bandwagon with a short, or have we missed it? So we can see on the 3 minute time frame, we're getting over. Well, we got to the top of the peak here. We are overbought, and now we're looking to get a cross down. If it crosses down below the 80, or yep, the 80 line I have here, that would be a confirmation. Again, the RSI knocked its head against this top line here.
Mm-hmm.
So could we be in for a downtrend? What other information do we have? Let's go to the 1 minute chart. So now let's try and find some moving averages which are either in our favor or against us. So we came all the way up, bouncing off the sort of green and let's say yellow, yeah, moving averages. And with the green being on top, that shows bullish action. We've now broken that. If we cannot hold this yellow line as support here, the odds are these averages are going to flip around and give us a little bit of a bearish trend. However, there's no necessity of that. Like we can see just within this move here, we've crossed the yellow line before, which is set at the 10 MA, so literally the average of the last 10 10 candles. And we used it as support before. We broke through it, but we blasted straight back through. So there's no immediate danger saying we're necessarily going back to the downside right now. I don't personally like this move too much as a continuation, but you never know. Honestly, I don't have enough feeling right now to call it either way.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to just build up more knowledge. So 5 minutes. We are quite far from all of the moving averages on the shorter time frame. On the longer time frame, again, that doesn't give us too much indication. Let me see if I can actually zoom out, find where this high went, and see if that gives us an indication of basically this same move, but in the reverse idea. So what I mean by that is, what if this whole play was exactly the same move that we saw here before blasting up, but in reverse? So we're coming actually here. We're waiting to come and find the supply zone before blasting straight back down. So did we get close to touching this zone? So what do I mean by that? I mean that this move was extremely bullish. We came all the way up here until we did get to a point where we just couldn't take it anymore. And so I would say this is most likely the candle that broke the camel's
Mm.
back. And I would say, to be honest, it's a bit messy. It's not too clear, but I would grab this whole zone here. Let me take it from the highs. And just drag that there and just have that as an idea. That's the absolute top. So we would like in a continuation pattern
Mm-hmm.
to break the most previous high and just blast straight through. But like we said, we do love to make these plays where we come back. And sorry, so on a bigger time frame, literally
God,
come all the way
it's
down,
just swinging for the
touch
fences
this
both
zone,
ways. It's crazy.
and
Right.
go right straight back down. So that's an idea I've got in my mind because I'm trying
Mm.
to build a story of where this can potentially go.
So you're looking at a
How
potential
strong
double
is the
top
move?
here again, is it? Back there.
So,
Or is it more of just a resistance zone rather than a valid?
I mean,
Because it's such
if
a
we're
short
going
time
back
frame,
even
isn't it?
further,
Mm.
yeah. So I mean, let me go like on an hourly chart.
Yes.
Where's the hours gone? Sorry. So if we're going to go back even further, we can see that there's even more
Uh,
touch points
it has had a lot of touch
extending
points.
back even more.
And what are the relevance of those multiple touch points in this context? Like here on the 1 hour, for instance, like what sort of impact can that have
I
to
mean,
the
basically, we're trying to find the resistance zones. I mean, we're going to go back
mm,
even further here because we've come and touched this zone once, twice, three times, four times,
mm-hmm,
and we
mm-hmm.
haven't been able to go through.
Yep.
That's usually a very negative sign. And like I said before, if you're going to keep knocking your head against the same zone, you need to sooner or later break through it, or you're going to get rudely rejected in
And
the opposite direction.
it almost looks like we've got almost maybe an almost you could almost say a few higher lows on that as well. Is that
Where are we looking?
potentially sort of like, I mean, if we draw it back, yeah, from maybe like one of those low points, I just mean, yeah, maybe from
I
around
mean,
there. Can there be an argument made for like a slightly bullish sort of neutral triangle? Maybe break out to the upside based on the lows? Yeah, you know what I mean? Is there an argument for
yeah,
that?
there is a wedge
A wedge.
playing out
Yeah.
here. Uh,
Yeah.
to be honest, I haven't looked at a 1 hour chart in a very long time.
Yeah, here on the
And
1 minute.
on the yeah, comparing it to the 1 minute, I wouldn't find it too helpful.
Nah,
Um,
not for
to be
that.
honest, I don't really want to give too much opinion on what's happening on the longer time frame because I really, to be honest, have not analyzed it.
Need to do some
I'm
more
trying to see if I
analysis,
can
yeah.
spot an immediate move here, but there's nothing on the charts
Yep.
that screams anything obvious in
Yep.
any form of direction.
Yeah,
So
for real.
I just wanted to understand really where we've come to today, why we got rejected off this zone so badly.
Yeah.
Because we came into this with real momentum. Like that is a
Yep.
hell of a that's a hell of a candle right there. I haven't seen that in ages. On the 1 hour. However, if we're bringing it back to the 5 minute, still looking bullish. Are we gonna have another attempt at
That
knocking
line.
through? Right now, I just genuinely don't have a great feeling either
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, it's a
I
bit
would
dicey,
like to
eh?
have a more construct idea um, um, of where we're going. So again, the indicators here are quite high, but again, when they do come high, they can chill here for quite a long period of time. So
Mm-hmm.
don't automatically think, I've come all the way from down here to up here and the move is finished. It
Mm.
might not necessarily be the case, but then again, are you happy enough with your move? Have you set yourself a target and did you smash your target? Did you come close to it? Sometimes I come so close to my take profits
Yeah.
and they never actually come through. So I'm there eyeing that trade on every second with my finger on the trigger for the flash close
Yep.
because it's not worth missing your stop loss for literally a micro percentage and then just
Yes.
watching you round trip that position all the way down. If you believe in your position, it might
100%.
not always come to the exact point you want.
Yes.
But take those profits, lock those profits in and take them. So again, here I would say I'm more inclined to going short just based
The
on
ceiling,
this zone
yeah, your
having
resistance
just
zone.
having more potential to the downside than
Yeah.
to the upside right now.
Yeah.
However, we are looking bullish in terms of the fact that we are above the point of control.
Mm.
The um pardon me, the moving averages are starting to transform basically with the red being on top before
Mm-hmm.
and the green being at the bottom. They have switched places and now the green has surpassed the red. So that's like a almost like a very bullish cross on this lower time frame. So I want to be aware of all of that. So as I'm building the idea in my head, I would like to go short, but I'm not confident at all. And so I need more information, more information. Where am I going to get that information? By just getting confluence on different charts. So on this chart, we finally got a nice positive cross over all of our indicators facing the right direction. We would like the red to be below the orange, to be in a full bullish, to have full bullish momentum. But that's not the case. We have broken the 6 moving average, which is our first indication of a downtrend. We did get this quite a rude red rejection candle, but again, not extremely powerful enough to tell me, bang, we're definitely going to the downside. Now we're mucking about with these averages. Can it hold it as support? Is it going to blast straight through? These averages are very tight, so I would actually like to think it might hold as support and then give us another little retest to the upside before a complete collapse. However, so this is the 3-minute chart. 3-minute chart says we have had our move already, from the downside all the way to the upside, and now there's literally no shame in resetting all the way down. So here we are. We're having a very negative candle here, but can this be eaten up straight away? This is why I didn't go in immediately, because I do think this can get munched up very quickly.
Yes,
But
yes,
let's
yes.
get some more confluence. So on the 1-minute chart, what are we doing? We are surviving with the 60 moving average. So that's giving us very nice
And just
support.
and just to
If
cut in quickly before Zar checks out that 1 minute chart, guys, for everyone who's on the stream right now, me and Zarino, me and Zara, if you want to catch us basically during the day, I'm going to right now pop the free Telegram group link right there in the chat, guys. I've just popped it there for you. Both Zara and myself are in there, and it's primarily me at the moment. Zara will probably come on a little bit later, and we drop trades in there, guys. No strings attached, guys. It's a free group. You can get in there, and if you just have a look in the group, we've dropped a lot of winning trades for the month of December. We're up about 44% on our trades, meaning that if you had invested every trade with $1,000 account, you would have had about 440 to 450 US dollars profit, folks, just for that month. And we're planning to hopefully have a bigger month in January as well. So make sure you go ahead and jump in that free Telegram group, guys, because there's going to be a lot of value that me and Zar are going to be bringing to you via that group. And also make sure you like the stream for Zar, subscribe, and hit notifications so you don't miss out when Zar goes live on the channel with myself, but predominantly Zar. We'll be running you through that shorter term TA at least twice a week to start, and quite likely more. All right, Zar, back to you.
yeah, so again, so I still not too sure what's going on. I would have liked to have gone with my initial uh intuition of that short. That would have played out quite nicely. However, I'm just still not confident enough on the move, because the market is so volatile right now.
He really
It could
is.
just be bouncy, 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 up and down, which is what we like to see,
That's what
which
we
is
want.
absolutely what we like to see.
That's what we want.
We want to see the volatility because we can, like I said yesterday, I was closing trades with just 2 candles,
Yeah.
and it was shocking to me, but I was like, why not? Let me take that. Let me take those $5, $6. Let me take those $10, $20. Every little bit helps. Every little bit helped me achieve my target of $50 a day. And I'm trying to
100%.
learn what's the best way to get that target. Is it a matter of doing 5 $10 winning trades potentially? Is it just to go through it with that one big trade that gets me that $50 a day? It's literally all a learning curve. So, all right. So back to our story here. We had reset the stochastic RSI very low, with the potential of a move of a flip to the upside. RSI is not too doesn't offer us too much information right now. The MACD is negative, so we're looking for a bit of a reversal there. And I'm just going to go into this a little bit deeper. see if I can find a good example. Da-da-da. So the Mac, I was looking at the MACD. This is the MACD indicator right here at the bottom. It doesn't always give you an initial indication of bang right now. Hit your trade, go long, go short. I use it as a gauge of roughly where we're at in the market, and can it give me some sort of confidence that we are heading in the right direction? So with these red negative candles right now, my idea is that they're getting smaller and smaller, and we're gonna hopefully reverse to green sooner rather than later. That's based on the fact that this is extremely low. The stochastic RSI is reset. We have had the cross of the blue over the red, which is bullish. If it does confirm above the 20 line, that's a sort of confirmation. Don't use it as gold on these charts, because as you can see, you might get a confirmation here and it can get completely rejected. Even from here, we've had a solid confirmation here, but it got completely rejected.
Mm-hmm.
So always try to find confidence, always try to find, I just want to build that story of that gives me maximum confidence. And this is basically what I've been doing the last few days. I've been looking at these candles, and sometimes I even go into the exact specific candle and try to see, is that candle telling me a story that I want to listen to? So right here, this is a bit of an indecision candle at the top of this move, but when found at the top of moves like this, it is known as a bit of a reversal candle. So that would have also been a very great indication to take that short, followed by this bearish engulfing candle, which took us through our first breakdown going through this moving average. So candles can be extremely important as well. And so I'm just looking to find the perfect entry for my idea. Right now, we're floating in the middle of these averages, which is just very scary to me because they can go either way and just get rejected either side. Right now, if I'm looking at the extreme short time frame, I'm thinking we're holding support very, very, very nicely with this red line here, which is the 60 MA. We've pushed through it, came back down, trying to hold the 6 MA as SMA as support now. But again, we're in such a small zone, I really don't know which way it could go. The stochastic RSI has reset lower and has confirmed above the 20. So theoretically, right now you could just jump into a blind long, and just based on this one indicator here, which is insane. But I'm not confident enough that is gonna that's gonna play out in my favor. So again, we're floating between the 1, the 3, and the 5-minute chart to get the best idea, to see where the best gap, the best value is for us to jump into a move with absolute confidence. So right now we're getting rejected on the 3-minute from the 60 moving average, as opposed to the 1-minute where we're holding it as lovely support. And now we've broken it. And with all honesty, if we re-break these lows, I would see a very nice short all the way back to the downside. However, I'm not going to jump into this move straight away, because I would have loved to have jumped into this move right here at the top, where I had way more confidence of the move. But again, we're just trying to work out a story, trying to work out a strategy, trying to get you guys confident in making a play by yourselves, not necessarily following anyone, just by forming a storyline in your head of what is possible right now. So on this 3-minute chart, I'm just going to quickly get a Fibonacci retracement, and I'm going to put it from the low to the high. And I'm going to say so what is a Fibonacci retracement? Basically, we're hoping right now that if this all plays out, we're in a bullish move. We've come up, we've hit the highs. We're going to come back down, and before I know, so the Fibonacci retracement is used to figure out what level are we most likely to bounce off before continuing our trend to the upside. And so in this move here, we can see that from the highs, from the lows to the highs, this move is playing out quite nicely with a bounce off the 618. So anything within this zone here, so the 382 and the 618 is sort of known as the golden zone with the golden area, which basically means it's the place where it's most likely that if this is a successful play and we are bouncing and we are just going to the upside, this is the best zone to find a healthy retracement. So even though we do have the potential to come back down all the way to the 7.86 and even further, if we were to actually do carry on this little bullish move to the upside, that would be an extremely healthy retracement, which we've just seen. So I'm going to keep that in mind, and I'm going to say, has this move finally played out all the way, or is there still room to the downside? So I'm going to keep that in mind, but take that off the chart just to give us a bit of a cleaner chart. The 3-minute is still heading down on the stochastic. Again, the 5-minute is extremely powerful compared to the charts that we're using on the 1 and the 5. It's literally 5 times more powerful than the 1-minute, and that is giving us a clear indication that we did find our top here. We actually came up all the way to this zone, which I had placed here with this box, which was again a previous high, which we really struggled to get past on 4 separate occasions, which usually signals a rude rejection to the downside. So ideally, if I was a bit more on it right now, I would have jumped in, yeah, on a short a long time ago. And sometimes I actually like to use these this chart on Bitunix because it's just so clean, it's so simple. It just gives me a little bit of volume. I've not many indications. So I'm just looking at the chart and I'm seeing a hell of a long consolidation until we decided to have a little move to the downside, a little move to the upside. But to be honest, we're still pretty much here in the zone. And so Bitcoin hasn't really decided what it wants to do today as it keeps playing around the point of control. So that's this orange line we've got marked here. It can't decide if it wants to push up or come back down every time we push it above and hold it as resistance. And hold it as support. It means nothing. We just simply come crashing straight back down. Try to use it as now it's being used as resistance to the upside, which is not good, which means usually another push to the downside. But again, not enough information for me to be confident enough to pull a bigger trade right now. So my idea is I want to wait now. I want to catch at least one trade. So I want a nice reset of this stochastic RSI, either at the top or at the bottom, with enough confluence on a few other charts, just for a silly quick move in either direction. I've actually got my account set at, so $100 trade, 29% of my account, and we're going to go 20x, either long or short.
All right. Getting excited.
And we need to figure out which trigger we're going to pull. I'm not confident either way right now.
It's literally right in the middle of your two lines.
It's in the combat zone.
Yeah,
It's in the combat zone. But even as we said,
tough.
even in this little area here, people are making money, boy. People are making money.
They are.
I mean, just mucking about here, we got 1.75%, which is huge.
Especially when you
Put a
apply
little bit of
leverage.
leverage on that.
Even just with
Man,
5x
that's
leverage,
crazy.
you're getting 5%.
Absolutely.
Even
Absolutely.
more than that. That's nuts.
So the reason I am actually using 20x leverage is just because I want to roughly gauge what a little bit closer to the actual account that I'm going to be trading with if I do intend to proceed with my future scalping accounts, because I'm having a lot of fun a lot of fun, sometimes too much fun. And when I've made my profits for that day, I get a little bit confident, and I keep going. And you really shouldn't, because I just don't want to get greedy. $50 a day for me is absolutely incredible. I've also got a full-time job, so
Fantastic.
it's a little addition to that. It doesn't hurt at all. So now we are pushing to the downside on the 5 minute chart. We are very far away from all of these averages, but we did try to hit them. So this long wick does give me confidence of a little push to the downside,
And I think
but we missed that initial move.
I think another point that I just want to reiterate as well, you know, it's got a few people in the stream here. First of all, look, appreciate everyone
Yep.
jumping in the stream. You know, a few of you sticking around for a while, so it's really good to see. And you know, if it's not obvious already, then you know, Zar's just bringing it to you. His personality, just raw, honest, and open. You know, he's learning as well. He's making some good money, but both of us are still very much learning in this journey. Which you know, you got to go in glass half empty. I think the saying goes something like that. Always ready to learn, prepared to learn, and just essentially just provide a space where you guys can come on here, you can watch these streams for free, and you can take away a lot from these streams, because the fact of the matter is we are being fully transparent with you guys. We share our portfolios, we share our trades. We just shared actually our income for the month of December. We made about 45% on my personal portfolio. It's all there in the Telegram group. Zara's in there as well. So for those of you that haven't signed up yet to the free Telegram, it is just here at the very top of the actual chat there. So go ahead, jump in the free Telegram, and you can see the calls that got us from the start of December to the new year of about 45% gains, and Zara will probably soon be dropping some trades in there as well. And make sure you subscribe to the channel, like, and hit notifications, because we do streams like this twice a week, so you don't miss them. Okay? Because yeah, as you've heard, you know, Zara's been making some pretty good cash here. But yeah, appreciate all of you. And also,
Yeah.
guys, to really follow along with these trades properly, if you're a serious trader as well, come and get signed up to Bitunix. Okay, that's going to be the pinned chat there. Right at the top of the chat, it's pinned there. Okay, so that is the Bitunix trading team for me and Zar. So come in there, start trading. There's no KYC, no VPN, and by simply signing up and putting on some leverage trades there, after you make a little deposit there, you're going to be entered into an 1,000 crow every single week. That's $100 at the moment. And we're also going to be giving away 5,000 crow every single month, which is $500 to one of the top 5 highest volume traders for every month. Okay, so from January now, end of Jan, we'll announce that. And every Friday, we announce the weekly winner for the 1,000th crow. So come in, trade on Bitunix with us, guys, because the bottom line is, yeah, you want to come in the Telegram, start following our trades. The only way to do it most accurately, so you get most gains, best entries, best exits, is to simply sign up with that link. Okay, so come on, sign up with a link, and yeah, back to you, Zar.
Yeah, so I just wanted to apologize. I haven't been putting too much of my trades on the Telegram group, and that's simply because I'm in free mode of practicing, basically. And some of my trades, like yesterday, were literally a couple of candles on a 1 minute chart. And so by the time I enter the
That's
open
it.
trade onto the Telegram group and close it, you would have no time to catch such a thing, or you might catch it at the wrong time. And I just do not want to be giving the wrong advice. So I'm just practicing, and I'm grinding every single day to try and figure out what is the best strategy for me that I find most successful, that is going to work for me, that I can then be confident enough to boast about and replicate into other spaces. Right now, I don't want to get anyone into any trouble by posting very loose trades, let's say, as it is on my account. But we will give a little. Satoshi already gives extremely good knowledge on his trades, which are all slightly longer term, and they've all been finishing in the green recently.
Yeah, and I
So
think I just want to emphasize again on that point, you know, and this is another reason, guys, why you want to stick around watching us both, because I'm in there on the Telegram. You know, I do also a few other streams on my own during the weekend. At the moment, you know, I am focusing a bit more predominantly on the longer term trades, and you know, the main reason for me with that at the moment is I just have a little bit less time, perhaps in front of the computer. You know, I got a couple kids that takes up a bit of time during the day, so I'm focusing a bit more on those longer term trades. Okay, those longer term swing trades where I focus on really just being real patient, looking for those deep retracement entries. But that's only one way to trade, okay? Because the hope is that with these live action streams with me and Zar that are happening during the week. This is where, you can kind of jump in with us, be active at the computer. Sure, they might be slightly higher risk, maybe on the shorter time frame, but as Zar mentioned, he is getting better and better and better. I know for a fact he invests a lot of time. He's been to trading school. He's still at trading school, very actively investing in his trading education, and he's upskilling his game. He's giving me a great deal of knowledge on these shorter time frames. So I myself, I'm getting a lot of value from these sessions. So yeah, guys, as I said before, I know there's a few people that just jumped in. Like, especially subscribe, but hit notifications, guys, because so that you are aware and you don't miss these streams. But even if you do miss the streams, you can still catch up with the knowledge because the streams will still be on the channel. But if you do want to catch the live trades and jump